Well, Ian, a very good start to the active season, I suppose. Not quite what a lot of fans expected. Victory, that's great stuff.
Yeah, I thoroughly deserved. I thought Greg never really made any save of any note up until, the 94th minute when he picked the ball out of the net. And, we could analyse that and see what happened. It was down to tiredness, but it was also down to great skill from their boy. It was a marvellous bit of skill and a marvellous finish. But, yeah, I mean, we had a lot of good performances. We were very solid. We looked very dangerous and a threat in the break. We had a lot of young boys in the team, bringing on, McGuffey, Wardrop and Andy Johnson, who's a young kid from the under 20s. It's great for the future, but we don't let that pull the wool over our eyes. We're still 5 players short, 6 players short, of which we're trying to get in. But a very pleasing day.
I think when people looked at the lineup today and looked at Forrest being on his own up front, he did incredibly well under the circumstances. But bad luck there, because I think it was a late last-minute international clearance for one, and one who you're still waiting for.
Yeah, and one of the ones, Big Andy O'Connell's not ready to play yet. He needs a pre-season, 2 or 3 weeks pre-season. He's not ready. Young Jamie Thomas's stuff came through last night late, but he played with Burnley today under 21, so he's got a game. He'll hopefully come up and feature at some point on Tuesday. But we need 2 proven strikers at this level. We need another centre back and a wide player, and so I mean the chairman knows that. But you know what, a very pleasing start. It's very, very early to start, and you could tell they were a bit fitter than us because of the amount of training sessions they've probably had compared to us. But really good, and as I said, some really some good individual, but a real unity about them, and there was a real kind of strength about them. Very compact, and I asked Paul Cairn and Robbie Crawford to switch positions a lot and try and get beyond and playing in positions they're not used to. But Robbie Crawford can play there. I think he can play there. And now that's Robbie a goal threat. I don't know what he scored in his first 70 games, but he scored 3 in his last 5 or 6. So delighted.
Yeah, he's on a bit of a purple streak at the moment, isn't he? Yes. One thing is now, St Mirren midweek. Is this going to be actually a more difficult game? In a way, no one expected us to do well like today, and actually coming away with a 2-1 win there was something special. But is this going to be more difficult? Team that's supposedly at their same level?
I think it'll be more difficult because St Mirren will be a good bit fitter, I'd have thought, and it comes hard in the back of this game. I mean, for example, I'm not even taking Peter Murphy to Love Street, St Mirren Park. I'm going to leave him, and it'll probably be the same unless I can get a couple. Maybe young Jamie Thomas will be with us, but unless I can get 1 or 2 in before then, it'll be the same boys. So I think that'll make it harder. Other than that, I think it's just a good game, and I know the surface there will be fantastic. So we're all looking forward to it.
Thanks again.
Cheers, guys. Cheers.